race fans, welcome to my little show about motorsports I like to call In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott. Here each Wednesday on the YouTube during racing season, when I feel like it. Well, here we are starting yet another season of racing. NASCAR finished their 5th weekend of competition with the completion of the left coast swing at the Fontana 400, which was won by Northern Californian Kyle Larson in his number 42 Ganassi Target Chevrolet. The new stage racing has been interesting over the past 5 weeks, but the jury is still out. We'll just have to see how it goes. But one thing is for sure, it makes recording the races a whole lot easier. So far, Kurt, no longer the outlaw Busch, Bad Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., my friend JJ's favorite driver, and Ryan Hello Newman have also all won races. Plus, the Toad and the Joker got into a fight of sorts. And cars, some of the big stars are having problems getting through pre-qualifying inspections, and a couple of big stars have lost points to post-race inspection penalties already early in the year. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back on track, but if he hadn't been on the front row at Daytona, Jr. would hardly have gotten a mention the past 5 weeks. He seems to have some little more time to go before he is back to the winning ways expected with Team Hendricks, hopefully by Talladega anyway. And, I had sincerely hoped I would have better Dale Jr. news in this, the 88th episode of In the Pits with StockCar Scott, but just didn't happen. My oldest brother's favorite, number 24, Chase Elliott, is a Hendricks driver. That is doing well. Where the road has been a little more bumpy for my younger brother's favorite, number 4, Kevin Harvick, in his first Cup season in a Ford. Then there's my wife, speaking of Ford drivers, my wife's favorite driver, Greg Biffle. Things have not gone well at all for the Vancouver, Washington native, and he has decided to sit this season out in hopes of a seat in a more competitive ride becoming available. Well, my wife still has Casey Kane from her home county here for whom to cheer, and this year is starting out looking better for Casey in the number 5 Hendricks Chevy than it did last season for sure. The next Monster Energy Cup event will be at Martinsville, Virginia this Sunday, where someone will win a grandfather's clock. The trucks will be running there on Saturday for us to watch before heading out to Monroe for opening night of racing festivities for the season at Evergreen Speedway. Of course, that is if weather cooperates. Also, it is 12's night at Evergreen. So wear your favorite Seahawks apparel. Funny, for most of those Seahawks folks, it will be the only time they go anywhere near a racetrack all year. So please, race fans, make allowances for them. Hopefully, if the weather works out, we will get to see racing by super late models for 100 laps, street stocks, mini stocks, Hornets, youth Hornets, and outlaw figure 8s. And I behoove all of you Seahawks 12s to stay and watch all of the races, because all races matter. And you folks might find a race that matters to you. Maybe you like figure 8 racing, who knows. There will also be racing Saturday night, weather permitted, at South Sound Speedway. So if you live south of Seattle and don't wish to fight traffic to get to Monroe, or you can't wait to get some of the best chili cheese fries in the great weird Northwest, South Sound has twin mains for late models, Legends, Hobby Stocks, and Bumblebees to open their 2017 season at their fast little 3/8 mile track. Other regional tracks will be opening in the near future. Of course, Yakima Speedway opens the second weekend of April for the 51st Apple Cup for Northwest Super Late models. Also there for the event will be the West Coast Late Model Series, my favorite regional touring series, for a 100-lap kickoff to their ambitious 11-race 2017 season on 4 different regional short tracks, including Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. So it looks like I will be returning to the WVSO for the first time in about a decade or so this coming September. Watch for the video. Wenatchee Valley Super Oval starts their season the middle of next month. Spokane, another new track for the West Coast Late Model Series, will start racing in early May, as well as, I am happy and pleased to say, the Hermiston Raceway Park will also kick off their season that first weekend of May. Now, if y'all remember from last season, that sweet little racetrack there just across the southeastern Washington state border there had doubts that they were actually even going to have in a season in 2017. But with a lot of hard work, racing will be happening there this year. So congratulations to those folks. Oh, and State Line Speedway in Post Falls, Idaho will also open in mid-April. So why do I mention all of these various short asphalt tracks in the greater Washington area? I would like to start hearing from race fans all over the Northwest area on my In the Pits with StockCar Scott Facebook page with some local racing results so I can include them in the show each Wednesday. Of course, if you send results in by posting them on my page, you will be an In the Pits on location reporter and naturally get a shout out when I tell everybody the results that you have reported for me. If you have ever wanted to get involved with the show here, here's your chance. I've already got a new volunteer, Sherry Garber, that y'all know that usually reports on the Northwest Super Late models. She'll be posting whenever she goes to a race. So thanks a lot, Sherry. Results reported, you know, will be greatly appreciated by me and all the other race fans in our area. So just go ahead, post any results for Legends, Mini Stocks, Hobby Stocks, Street Stocks, Trucks, Hornets, and Limited and Super Late models there. And I will try to report them all because I want to move the focus of In the Pits more to stock cars and local asphalt racing. Now, I still love watching F1 and catch many of the Indy races on the tube there, but successful shows, and I will try to be one of those, have a more narrow focus. So I won't be covering open wheel racing as much as I have in the past. But you should still watch as much F1 as you can this year, because with Ferrari winning the first Grand Prix of the year at Australia, it looks like it won't be another Mercedes walk-through parade again this year. No, sir. Of course, the F1 season goes on this year without a defending champion in the field because, what's his name, decided to be a one-and-done champion, and is in retirement now, somewhere probably with cousin Carl Edwards. And speaking of the flipper, his suddenly vacating his seat there at Gibbs elevated the kid from Mexico, Daniel Suarez, from Xfinity champion to Monster Energy Cup rookie. And he has the same wide-eyed, I'm just happy to be here attitude that cousin Carl had, about a dozen years ago or so. Suarez should be fun to watch over the next dozen or so years. Running against Daniel for Rookie of the Year in the Monster Energy Cup Series is Phenom Eric Jones in a new number 77 Toyota. He's teammates with Martin Truex Jr. at Furniture Row Racing. And Silver Spoon kid Ty Dillon, who is trying to live down his older brother's reputation there. And boy howdy, I have lived that drama myself. But I like Ty, and I have a feeling he is the better Dillon in the long run. And I like that Twisted Tea number 13 Chevrolet. It is one good looking car, and the best of all, it reminds me of what a great sponsor that Twisted Tea has been for the sport we all love. Of course, there's Cup Team sponsorship that they have, but also many local series, including my favorite, the West Coast Late Model Series, have enjoyed support by Twisted Tea. I also see their logo on many of the leaderboards at tracks I watch on Fans Choice TV. So thank you, Twisted Tea, for all that you do for stock car racing. I just wish I was a sweet tea drinker. Can you imagine that? I'm from Alabama, and I have never liked sweet tea. For you folks up here, it's like being from Seattle and not liking those fancy schmancy coffee drinks. Heck, I never even liked coffee either. I get my caffeine the way that God intended, Mountain Dew. Nectar from heaven, folks. Yahoo! It's Mountain Dew. Now let's get back to racing. I kind of skipped over Xfinity racing. They'll be off this weekend, but in 5 races this season, 2 of the Xfinity regular drivers have actually won races. Ryan Reed won Daytona in the number 16 Roush Mustang, and a couple of weeks ago, Justin Allgaier won at Phoenix in the number 7 Junior Motorsports Camaro. 2 other races have been ruined by Cup regulars Joker and Toad in their NASCAR limited appearances that they can do now. I think they're limited to 5 in each of the lower series. The last Xfinity race was Saturday at Fontana with young Cup winning driver Kyle Larson starting his weekend sweep there at SoCal. You know, I was fine with that because Larson is a good kid and, you know, the future of the sport. The next Xfinity race is in a few weeks at Texas during Apple Cup weekend up here. Well, that about covers it for now. I'll mention Camping World Trucks next time because they just got started, and hopefully next time we'll also be talking about racing at Evergreen. But a couple of online sources that I have checked out say that it just does not look good for racing. Looks good for the fishes, but you know, they do race out there in the rain. Well, all classes except for super late models. Of course, you're not going to get those guys out in the rain. And if you do go and they don't run super late models, you'll get a rain check for the next super late model race. I think that's how it goes, but don't hold me to that one. You might want to check in advance. But StockCar Scott will not be out there in the cold and rain because StockCar Scott likes late models and not cold and rain. Besides, I'm like a delicate flower or something nowadays. I'm getting too fragile for these frigid temps. Oh, but if it doesn't rain, I'll be up there for sure. You know, but it is really nice to be back again for a new season. My wife renewed me for another year, God love her. And you might have noticed a few little changes that have been going on here in the set. Little Godzilla has gone MIA, as well as my regular Sterling glass there during the renovation that we're suffering through. A few other things will pop up as I find them as things move back in. But big old Godzilla over there, he's still guarding the Dennis Schaefer trophy that I have, that I prize very much. And of course, the newest addition to the set here at In the Pits with StockCar Scott is my 2016 Greg Peterson Memorial Award. Here it is right here, folks. From the, let me move it up here so you can see a little better. Okay. That's from the West Coast Late Model Series, folks. And why did they give me an award? Just for doing what I like to do anyway. Shooting racing video and talking about racing. Some things that I do anyway. But I think they like old StockCar Scott. What do y'all think? Tell me on my Facebook page, that page I have for the show called In the Pits with StockCar Scott, and somebody from South Sound. Make sure you get the results for the next show there posted. Just post them. I know y'all have results on your page, but if somebody wants to shout out, just go ahead and post the results there on the show page for me, for everybody to see. Thanks a lot. Maybe Robert, Brian, Stormy, Chris, somebody will post something for me there. I'd appreciate it. Well, there it is, race fans. We have come to the end of this beginning show for the 2017 season. Or as that little Georgia College band, REM, sang, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So, you can tune into YouTube next Wednesday, same stock car time, same stock car channel. And weather permitting, I might really have some local racing to talk about here on In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott. I hope you get to see some racing this weekend. We all do. So thank you very much for watching. Now, off with you. Go ahead. I got things to do myself. See you next week.